what's next. Not to mention how many people have been affected. You know, It- what's going on, LaMore? How you doing,
Blessings to you, brother. Super fantastic.
What's
man?
up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm honored, man. How you doing, King?
Oh man, our pleasure. Our pleasure to have you. I'm gonna try to put you up top. They got me up top. I need to put you up top. I don't know if I can switch it or not, man. But it's cool, man. I appreciate you though, my brother, for tapping in with us. Um, I know it's been a rough couple months, few months for you. And first of all, I want to say my heart goes out to you and your family. I have two daughters. Nic has a daughter as well, and it's just all love to you.
Yeah, yeah,
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that, man. For sure. It mean a lot to me, man. Especially, you know what I'm saying, coming from you brothers. You know what I mean. The whole time, it's just been a lot going on, and it's just been kind of difficult for me. But a lot of people don't understand what's actually happening in that process. You know what I mean? When you have a child that's actually sick, I mean, everything stops. Your whole mindset changes, the way you go about your day-to-day activities, and
yeah.
it puts a strain on everything. I mean, with everybody, because everybody dealt with it differently.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was just I wouldn't, man, it's nothing I wouldn't do to put, to trade places with my daughter in a heartbeat. Around, or you know what I'm saying? It was a real task, a day to day. It was like a different kind of it was a weird feeling, man. I can't explain it. It was highs and lows, man. You waiting to hear some good news from the hospitals, you watching your baby health decline at the same time you dealing with outsiders, and man, it's just a whole lot. Me myself, I can honestly say, maintaining my sanity through it all, because it was a lot of times I wanted to, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
wanted to break. It was a lot of division being caused, and at the end of the day, I wasn't in it for nothing but lyrics health, and that was it. I
yeah,
wish her the best. She did the best she can do with the course she was dealt. But I understand, like we speak on mental health, man. That whole situation changed everybody in the family. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
From
yeah.
even my daughter, Lana, because she doesn't even really know what's going on. I think probably the time she get like 12 or 13, she start thinking about memories and her sister, then it might hit her. But the value, everything ain't really touching Monica yet.
Yeah. As as dads, what you going through, what you went through, and continue to go through is our worst nightmare. And I think that's any parent out there. I think the biggest fear is something happening to your daughter, your son. And I hear you. I hear your heart, especially when you say good days and bad days. I think anyone who lost someone knows what that looks like, up close. How did you deal with the bad days?
Man, that's how I deal with the bad days right here, man. I go downstairs. When we stayed in the medical center, we stayed at the Wyndham. We drove down there September 3rd, got the rental. We got stopped in New Orleans because Lyric, I believe she had a seizure on the way. She was tired and was halfway point.
Yeah.
Um, Once we got to the hospital and things was happening, I would always go there because I can't weep around my family. They got to draw strength from me. So I would
Mm,
try to call. I'd come downstairs and roll a blunt and then call one of my nephews or somebody in the family. And, you know what I mean? Talk to them and just try to get some, somebody to, I call it like a shoulder to lean on when I'm venting and nobody's around, especially all this is going on during the pandemic. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's that sometimes it's only one parent in at a time, and I got to switch out with moms. And of course, mom was the nurturer, and me as a provider, I can't be in there at all times. I mean, I'm in there with other fathers that's not like me. They come from different walks of life. I see them come in, check on the kid, go back to work, maybe be a police officer, fireman, or whatever. But each one, only we all share one thing in common. Our child is on this in this hospital on this certain floor in the Aflac where all of these kids are going through something that's terminal. You know what I'm saying? So we all share this. We prayed together. We sat in the lobbies and we all told each other stories and we tried to draw strength from each other as men, but like we doing right now. But women grieve differently than men. You know what I mean? Like they way more emotional and sentimental and like sensitive. So if it came down to us, like we not allowed. It feel like we're not allowed to break down sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
it kind of got to me. Sometimes, you know, it really hit me when they carried her out the house. Like when they carried her out the house, then that was like it was. You know, I felt like, you know what I mean? Like she ain't gonna be in the other room no more. You know, usually when I come in or whatever, I come in the house, I'm like, "Where's Lyric?" She's like, "Lyric in the back," or whatever. I go see her, or go spend some time with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the fact that I know she ain't in the back, or she ain't in the hospital, or she's not here anymore. I mean, it's every day. It's a new. It's like a pain and it's not gonna end. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never gonna get old. So I just stay busy and do things in her name that's positive. Like I know it's a lot of negative stuff going around, and let's get to set the record straight. Like it's nothing my daughter could, any one of my kids could say or do that would make me ever stop loving them. I know, you know, as kids, we all say things about our parents, and it's things that they don't understand as kids when they're young that they don't figure out when they got older. Like, damn, I was tripping. You know what I mean? So, but man, shout out, man, to you brothers for having me, man. I'm just you know what I'm saying? It's tough. Like I'm saying, every day is a new challenge trying to figure it out. Some days I go where I can't even, I'm like, damn, I'm just zoned out. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
don't smoke no weed. I don't drink. People that know me, I don't drink. The last few days, I've been forced to have a cocktail or two, but that's not me. So people that know me know that I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a crazy. I don't do drugs. None of that shit. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm just blessed to be on the right side of the dirt, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I feel happy belated birthday too to you,
For sure.
brother. Um, I
Pre-
mean, like you said, like I'm sure every day is another battle every day. Has how has your family support been? Is there any, I just know like a lot of times when it's this kind of situation, a lot of, it's a lot of um but distance that can occur. How have you been able to navigate that?
Man, I have a huge family support. Like that's what I'm tripping. Like everybody act like we went down there with our hands. Bro, everybody just fell in love with lyrics. She was really infectious. Like we have a huge like Chef Smelly. He been in that's my brother since we come out the sandbox. He been with his platform. His daughter's been raising money for lyric, throwing little fundraisers and stuff. And then my cousin um, Taja Jacks, you know, my whole family, everybody been raising money. I mean, it wasn't a big platform like a as far as like celebrities and stuff like that, but it still was our tight knit circle, and we all came together for the greater good of lyric. I mean, that stuff got overshadowed by once we got to Houston. You know, once we got to Houston, and it's like, oh, the dad's not around. Let me let this. I never was not there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just like I just played this. I wasn't in it to be on TV and be doing news interviews and nothing like that. Like I knew none of that shit wasn't gonna get my daughter out of hospice care. You know what
Yeah.
I'm trying to, you know, whatever efforts as far as like trials or holistic care efforts or whatever, I'm with that. But once the doctors say, oh, this and that, and they give you a prognosis, and you just gotta, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
gotta figure it out. And most people don't understand it unless they actually going through it. But man, I was there from day one. I was actually in the hospital when she got diagnosed. I was the one when the doctor came, knocked on the door. I'm halfway asleep. He like, yo, we just waiting on her to poop, and her MRI to come back, and she can go home. My mom was actually on her way to work that night. I believe she worked 11 to 7
Mm.
at this hotel down in Buckhead. I recall. Anyway, make a long story short, she was about to walk out the door, so I called her mom. And right when the doctor, because the doctor knocked on the door, and he was like, "Yo, can I talk to you outside?" I was like, "Yo, you can talk to me right now." He's like, "I prefer to talk to you outside." So Lyric was still up, like, "Dad, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. I done poop. Let's go. You know what I mean? Get me up out of here." So I said,
Yeah.
"Let me call the doctor real quick." I just fell asleep good on the chair. And once I got in the room, I never sat down. I was like, lay it on me, doc. He was like, man, I found a 3-inch mass in her head. I said, what the hell is a 3-inch mass? Is it cancer? You know, I'm already off the rip going, like, what do you mean? Is it? He's like, well, I don't know if it's cancer yet. We got to run a bunch of tests, but she won't be going home tonight. And we got surgery planned for this and such and such. Everything was happening so fast. So I instantly called her mom. At the time, my dad, you know, me and my dad had just got a house. Um, in South Fulton area, and I was trying to catch her mom. She wasn't answering the phone, so I called my dad and I said, can you put Monica on the phone? He said, what's going on? I said, well, the doctor just said they found something in Lyric's head. And
Mm.
so she put her on the phone, and, we talked. She dropped the phone, said she was on the way up there. And it just happened from that point. Her first surgery, I was present all through the hospital. I'm in and out, hustling, doing what I got to do as a dad. Certain things women don't understand, which I don't expect every woman to understand what mentally men go through, because it's hard. The idle mind is a devil's playground. So
Yeah.
if I sit and live in my head, then you know what I mean. So I got to keep myself busy. I can't just sit in the hospital and stare at my baby with tubes. When I'm in there as much as I can, 2-3 hours a day, I spend a night in there, switch out with mom so she can shower and handle her business. But at the end of the day, it's bills and shit got to be paid. When they do get released, they come up out of her car notes and all of that before the hospitals and all these celebrities start taking care and helping. It was me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once she got diagnosed, she never went back to work that day. Mom never went back. She was going that night. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it was all up to me. And yeah, man, like I say, it was a tough road all the way from throwing her parties and making sure that keeping her happy. I mean, I already had made peace with Lyric, because the doctor, they had this one lady, Miss Jan, she was always hella negative. Like, she just laid the brutally honest truth on you, and she was like, Lyric is going to succumb to this. And we eventually got rid of her and somebody with more compassion, but that's how
Yeah.
she, that's how she laid it on me. And you got to look at it as a dad, man. This is like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, come on, man. There was so much going on, man. Lauren ran away when she was, 17, and her mom was going crazy about that because we didn't know where Lauren was at. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting outside niggas' house with pistols and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like on my real daddy shit. Like, I don't
Right.
trip that because I'm always being a father. It's my job to watch over them even when they don't know I'm watching. Because that's when integrity is, doing the right thing when nobody's watching. And that's
Yeah.
something I tell her on the ride, going to school every day. And we all get in trouble as kids and bump our heads, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes folks got to learn on their own and figure out, damn, I was tripping. Because I did that with my dad, man. I was running the streets and getting caught, going to juvenile hall, doing silly shit, you know what I'm saying? Until one day I woke my game up. Had 3 beautiful girls. One, well, actually, I had my son and then my daughter. And then, after I had Lauren, Lyric and Lana. I prayed for Lauren. I actually prayed for her because the Miseducation of Lauren Hill was out. And that was my favorite artist. And I was like, when I have a drum name, her Lauren Hill, and I'm spelling it the same way,
Wow.
Lyryn. And I used to pray for her when she was pregnant. I used to rub her mom's stomach. It was like, man, I hope it's a girl because I wanted my son to be the oldest and her to be right up under. And I knew
Yeah.
it was going to be special about it. Man, I'm like Joe Jackson, bro. All my kids is dope. And I promise you, every
No,
last all
yeah,
the way from my oldest son, he went to San Francisco State to be a computer science major, and just dropped. He just lost interest for it. He yelled Italian, went all the great schools. I mean, you could tell the way he talked. It was a man behind that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
don't just flip up overnight and forget how to be a father. You know what I mean? If you just get better at doing it. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And
right.
you kind of learn things on the fly as a young parent, and then after your second and third child, you kind of got to get a feel on how you want to raise your children. You know what I mean? And what route you want them to take in life as that's concerned. But man, I was there every step of the way. I never left her side. I come in the hospital, rub her feet, back massages, even when she mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Because my auntie used to tell me, like, man, just go in there and you know what I mean, and say some kind words or whatever. Even though she upset, she should constantly blame me all the time. It's your fault. Lear gets sick and this and that, and try to blame me for shit that I done in the past. You know what I'm saying? And I used to tell her, like, how you gonna do that? So what about the other parents in here that's kids that's walking here coming from square backgrounds? You gonna blame? Is it their fault that they
Mm.
sick too? Their kids are sick too? I
Yeah.
mean, just had that on me and had me like really tripping out. Like, damn, my dad used to
Yeah,
do a lot of scandalous shit when I was a youngster. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I can admit that. I mean, Tukey Williams wrote a whole children's book about that, but he was a monster in the street. That don't mean people can change. That's a great thing about life, man. You didn't like who you was yesterday, you can wake up and be somebody different. But in no way, shape, form, or fashion was I ever a womanizer or a child abuser or did any of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I could consider myself a patient man.
yeah,
All I was, bro. You know what I mean? So, and like I say, I ain't on here to bash nobody in my family. Like, I'm hella mad that we can't come together. But you will never understand, bro. I had to drive to the funeral by myself. I never knew I was gonna be driving myself to my daughter's funeral. I always imagined, like, I knew it was gonna happen. Like, damn, I'm gonna have somebody, maybe one of my kids or something. We gonna be in leaning on each other for support. But it wasn't like it was all surreal, man. It just felt hella weird. Like it wasn't organic. You know what I mean? Like everything just was like for show and for likes and just, you know what I mean? And I wasn't with that, bro. Like this wasn't the world's personal reality. This is my daughter dying like right in front of my eyes, and everybody just, um, having a little 2 cents to say like they was there, bro. And nobody was there with me, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Only person was there was me and Monica most of the time, and Lauren wasn't there all of the time. You know what I'm saying? She was there, but she was running around doing what teenagers doing. Now you can't expect um, the maturity level of a teenager to to be able to like process everything that's going on with her little sister. And most teenagers would. I know I would. You know what I'm saying? All of that it hit me hard if one of my little brothers was going through that at the
Right.
time. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, I love my family to death, and you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's nothing they could do or say to make me be like, oh, fuck them. I ain't no 50 Cent. Nigga be like, oh, nigga, I disown my. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
one thing, she would have to come to me with humility. Like, and just be like that. You know what I'm saying? I was tripping. You feel me? Because, I mean, it ain't nothing I did to deserve anything that's going on. Like, in the present time right now, I think it's just weird to me. But I ain't on here to really dive deep off into that. Um, I'm just here, man, just really just tripped out, man. That my
Yeah.
own, you know what I mean?
No, I so man, lyric, her energy, her spirit. I remember when I first heard about her. I believe it was DJ Envy was talking about her on the radio, and I heard the story. I said, and I looked her up, and when she would dance and like
Yeah.
rap, and like she was just a star, man. I know you just were super proud of her, and it's just unfortunate that things happen like this. And I think you mentioned
You
that
know how
guilt.
she got, not to interrupt you, but you know how how she people fell in love with Lyric. Everything took off when we got to Houston. They seen her on Lil Duval page dancing with her father in the hospital about to
Mm,
her fourth surgery. That's how it went viral. Then she just
wow.
went. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything happened for a reason, man. I've been there every step of the way. I don't like the fact like you could call me anything in the book, but don't try to take my fatherhood from me, man, because I pride myself in providing. My pops always told me a man is a provider. You know what I'm saying? And my kids got the best, always had the best of everything, bro. I didn't go out there with my hands out saying, oh, we homeless, I need this. The only thing I ever asked for was somebody to help me out find housing in Houston so we can get out the hotel rooms. That was it. I never said nothing about we can't eat or we need this or we need that. And that kind of made me pride for my pride because folks calling me like, bro, you need something. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have 125,000 to get that surgery. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I was doing what I could with what I was working with. You know what I'm saying? So, man, like it's so much that goes on behind the scenes, man. It'll drive you. Listen, man. I get comments all the time. People telling me, man, you better than me because I would have been already locked up, gone already, like with the shit that you putting up with. You know what I'm saying? So I just like try to take it. At first, it was kind of getting to me to my head because I'm dealing with all this by myself, bro. Like I'm living with this woman for over 20 years, and now I don't even have nowhere. Like I'm in the hotels, spending my money doing this, doing that, from September all the way to damn what January when I left Houston because all I did was just say I like all of like they just put her in hospice. The Isaiah, shout out Isaiah with I forget with Dietary Solutions. Yeah,
Mm,
he said, man, listen, Lyric does not need to be doing no interviews. He told mom, he said, no energy, no interviews, mom. Keep the camera out of her face, mom. Do this, do that, do that. So at the point, mom bringing her around and doing this just for like little photo ops and stuff like that, I was just not feeling that. Like it kind of exploded in January, and I said something. I'm not gonna dive into detail, but um, my mother was out there. She beat cancer twice. She's 75,
mm,
and everybody was just out there to help. And after that, I left Houston and came back to our condo in Atlanta. So when she came back to Atlanta, I basically stayed in Houston, was going back and forth checking on her because she was tripping. Like, I couldn't go back to the hotel room. She already told the people that don't let me back in the hotel room that we were staying in. So at that point, I just came back to Atlanta, and I go back and forth and go upstairs and check on Lyric and shit like that. And when she came back to Atlanta, she was basically like, I helped them unload the truck. We took Lyric in the house. Her brother carried in the house, and we unloaded the truck and shit like that. And it was like about 3 a.m. And she was like, so what you about to do? I was like, what you mean? I'm about to go upstairs and go lay down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she was like, nah, well, if you finna do that, me and Lyric finna go get a room. So I was like, what? So I just took the high road and cut, bro. And I've been, and I have to get in a spot like next week. It ain't got nothing to do. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. But I'm just saying that's how it was being since. And it was just like, damn, you acting like that. But when the like 3-4 days before Lyric passed, we was all in a hospital and shit. So I told her, I just had a talk. I was like, look, man, the doctor's saying, like the end is near and shit like that. Like, I want to be around. Like, real talk. Like, at that point, I was feeling like there's nothing that's finna stop me from not being around. You know what I mean? Like, I go to jail, whatever, and bail out, but you ain't finna tell me I can't be on the couch and be right here while Lyric sitting in the room finna take her last breath. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even let my daughter call me on my birthday. Like, it's crazy. Like, all of that, that's the type of shit that really get to me. But it's unfortunate how everything played out, bruh. And like, I know it gotta be something positive that's gonna come out on the other end of this, because I know Lyric she blessed everybody before she left. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna abuse a platform that she left for me to be trying to bash people, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to bring awareness and help people in her name, raise as much money as I can. I know how it is for families staying in them hotels, and you still got bills left behind. You got to understand, when we travel, we out there from September to fucking January, but it's still bills got to be paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, them folks don't care about Lyric being sick, man. They ain't cutting you no check for that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, it was tough, man. It wasn't that easy. You know what I mean? I did my best with what I was working with, bro.
Man, she definitely had a beautiful spirit, man, a strong soul. So I know she's inspiring millions of people, so there's no question about that, to just, keep fighting, keep persevering. So no doubt that she was an inspiration to countless people, you know. And that's what we can hang our hat on, just the fact that she's still saving lives.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. I get so many comments of people saying that, I mean, Lyric helped me get through this today, or I was feeling bad and down and out, and I come to her page and got a laugh, or grandma died, or I just lost a child. So, and it's crazy. I sit back and I actually, like, it's some stuff, inspiration. That stuff inspired me, because then I be going through certain things around my day, and I go through that, and I'm like, oh wow, I just lost my father, and man, I wish my baby daddy was half the man. I don't want a beach. I don't want nothing from that nigga but to come see his son. That's it. I don't want nothing from him. You know what I mean? Where them women at that really just want to allow you to see your child, like to raise your child from a father's perspective? Because really, that shit was really driving me crazy, bro. Because, I mean, I'm used to seeing my kids, just hearing their voices like the birds chirping in the morning. Like, that's something that I got used to every morning, bro, since they've been born. It's like abnormal for me not to hear that. So just waking up in silence every day, it ain't got nothing to do with her mama or nothing like that. It's like my kids. You see what I'm saying? Like, that means something to me as a father. Like, if I wasn't tripping, I would not be on this page. I'd be on a cloud chasing page somewhere, or trying to be seen and noticed. But bro, this right here, this meant something to me. Like, I get offers all the time for people trying to get at me and talk to me about shit. But this right here, like, dear father, like, I pride myself in my fatherhood, taking care of my kids. I took so many chances to provide and put food on the table for them, man. It just freaked me out, bro, to hear, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even get down like that. I'm gonna tell you a story. Look, when Monica was pregnant with Lauren, bro, she was 19, I was 24. All right. I remember I was on a run back then for a charge, some weird shit. I had a warrant, matter of fact. And so I went out there to Mississippi, where she originally from. She from Mississippi. So cause I was just, as a youngster, I was trying to figure out, where should I go? And I was just like, well, shit, my girl from Mississippi, let's go out there. Don't you got some family out there? You feel me? So we end up going out there, And as soon as we got out there, like, you know, she was really pregnant and showing. And I was like, she was having a bad day one day. I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on? She was like, because I got to meet all her family and everybody. And I'm a young fly. I ain't gonna lie. When I was young, 24, bro, I was doing the most. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking every bit of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So her family was like, oh, I said, what you crying? What's going on? She said, oh, everybody think you just came out here to just leave me with a baby and all that. You finna go back to California. I said, man, what type of nigga, do they even make niggas like that? Like, who would do some scandalous shit like that? Man, that's my baby. If I ain't going nowhere, we finna get a spot out here, man. You tripping. We finna prove them. Look, by the next 2 weeks on my daughter's soul, man, we had a fully furnished apartment, man, out there in Mississippi. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then folks coming over like, damn, how y'all doing this and doing that? Like, this man just went in there first, the whole spot. I'm like, bro, we out here. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I do it. Like, I never did, bro. That's on my daughter's soul, bro. Like, I never heard of niggas that do that. Like, why would I put a baby in you that I prayed for? Like, this a girl too? I don't care if it's a bullfrog up in there, man. You see what I'm saying? That's mine. You see what I'm saying? And I ain't going nowhere, man. These folks got to drag me out of Mississippi about that. You know what I'm talking about? And everybody knows, everybody that's close to my family, like real close family friends that don't follow us. You know, I don't even pay attention to people that just tune in, because most of the people that like this shit is kids and their maturity level is on 0, man. You see what I'm saying? So I don't pay attention to that, bro. I've been there for mine since day one, man. And I never forget that to this day. I said I could still see the look in her face when I was just trying to wipe the tears off her mama's face. Like, chill out, man. I was still a young nigga trying to figure out how to be a man at that time. You know what I'm saying? So,
how'd you figure? Like, you mentioned your father earlier. How present was your father in your life, and how did you get? You know, who gave you those skills to how to navigate being a father?
Man, I grew up in a 2-parent household. My parents got divorced. I was like, it's kind of like crazy. 18, 19, the same time that you know, Lauren is 19. And it's crazy. My mom and dad, they had 3 boys. I got 3 girls. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And they separated when I was 18, going on 19. And it's the same thing. And I was really fucking up at that point. Like, I wanted my mom and dad to be together, but when my mom and my dad split, I split because my dad kept my 2 little brothers. You know what I'm saying? And Pops got in the church and, you know, start preaching and changed life. Mom's was like, I'm not change. I want to still have my drink and do me and smoke my joint or whatever. Because mom, that's how she is to this day. Everybody love mom. She's 75, and she kind of, mind you, like Jim Jones and Keisha Cole mom combined. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole vibe. Everybody, I ain't never heard nobody say nothing negative about. Like, she is like the most fun, like entertaining, like woman to be around. Like, she just retired from working at the hospital for like almost 25, 30 years. So I meet people like young girls all the time, like, your last name? They go Jacks, because, you know, but they like, man, I was working at my children's hospital. Connie, she's so damn cool. Your mama a mess. But yeah, me and mom's is real cool. Me and my dad had kind of caught a bump road like around the time that Larry got sick, because we had a home together. We bought a house, and it was just, I think that he lacked a lot of compassion during that time. Me and him, there was a lot of things that was said I wish I could take back, but you know, you can't, you know what I mean? Everything that was happening, like, I was just getting words that my daughter was hella sick and the shit that was going on. Pops moved back to California, and then we end up selling a house and shit like that. But he ended up going back to California, man. And like the first time I seen my dad since he left Atlanta, was at my daughter's funeral. And we embraced. I'm not gonna lie, like, it was crazy, because I can't say I hated him, but I was just like, I ain't fooling with him for a minute, because we was forced, like, to sell a house and do all of that in the time Lyric was having like her 2nd and 3rd surgery. You know, and it's almost like, damn, I gotta move. Like, we doing all this right now. We can't wait to after the surgery. She having her birthday. You know what I mean? Look, man, I don't do it anymore. I'm this and that, and you know how older people, once they get set like in their ways, they committed, man. They don't, you know what I mean? It's
right.
Yeah,
Man,
but,
I mean, it sounds so. First of all, man, I appreciate you just, you know, being able to express yourself, because I know it's not easy, especially as a black man to express how you feel. Emotion, sad, you know, it's not just anger, it's emotional. Something like you're grieving at this point, you know, and this is a platform to help you navigate that. And Nic Hardy is, you know, he's a therapist, and I think that's so important for us to, you know what I'm saying, to tap in with that. How can you better be supported to grieve in this process? And Nic can help, you know, with this question. Well, what's a good way for you to, you know, navigate this grief?
Hey, I'm gonna throw this out here. Then you know, LaMore, I can let you finish on up. But you know, everyone grieves differently, and I think that's important to note. You know, it's no two people grieve the exact same way, and a lot of times we try to box people into how we grieve, and within a time frame that we believe is acceptable. You said something earlier. You know, you lose someone as close as your daughter. It's nothing that you ever get over. You know, you just can't. You know, but you can move through the process of grief to a point to where prayerfully you have peace. You know, that doesn't mean you're not gonna hurt. That doesn't mean you're not gonna, you know, be angry. It's not gonna mean you're not gonna have questions. But you can move forward, you know. But getting over a loss, especially close, is it just doesn't happen. So LaMore, what about you, man? What do you need to continue to move forward in your grief process? You know, which
Man, I'm not even gonna lie. Real talk. If I was able to like spend time with like filling that void in, like with my child, like being with Monica, like my youngest, doing stuff with her and shit like that, then I would outside of the gym because that's my only therapy. But like spending time with my other kids, I wish me and my daughter Lauren was cool. Like, man, her mom, I wish her the best, like all of that. But that should never like make us fall out. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Lauren be able to, you know, do things together and be cool and out doing things without her mom. That'd mean a whole lot to me. Like right now, I can't stand what's going on. Like all the separation and division. Like this is the time where people supposed to be coming together. Like whatever. It's differences I had with niggas in the street. I thought I'd never talk to again. But death will bring us back together. You might see somebody at a funeral, or you might be stumbling across something, or you know, any type of bad situation might bring you unfortunate, or some type of devastation might bring y'all back together, and then y'all kind of rekindle that. Like I'm not trying to rekindle no flames with her mom, but I'm saying with my kids, them flames never supposed to die out. You know, your kids, especially your daughter, like you and your daughter, y'all supposed to be like the ultimate duo. A daddy and a daughter, that's the ultimate duo. Like the way a son, the way I feel about my mom, that's why I left when my mom and dad got divorced. As much as I love my dad and I was chilling and everything, I went and stayed with moms because I didn't want, she didn't have no nigga. You feel me? Man, I'm 18. I'm running the street and feeling like I'm grown, so I'm going to go stay with mom, even though I know I would get away with a lot of more different shit, but at the same time, she still looked at me like I got my boy here with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I would like to feel. I always want my daughter to feel like, look, man, my daddy will really fuck you up. Like real talk. Like pops will really get on though, on mama's though. You know what I'm saying? So, and she know that, man. Man, she know that. She really know that. Like I'm not saying nothing that's going on, with my kids. The man, like what would really make me heal better. Like if me and all my kids was able to do us outside, letting her mom grieve how she want to do, then that'd be extra cool to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the hardest thing, going through it with like none of them around.
Right. And you
Like
love them. And you
I'm
love
doing
them.
it.
I could tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing this shit with none of them around, bro. Like I'm not 50 Cent, nigga. I'm not finna disown my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Over some punk ass shit like that, man. I'm way too grown for that, bro. Like,
I hope
um,
y'all, I mean, I think, you know, if she watching or whatever, I really hope that, you know, through this process, y'all can rekindle and mend and continue to grow and grieve together and have fun together, you know, because
I
we
don't know.
gotta,
Listen, I don't know what's going on, like what's being said, but at the end of the day, a lot of things that when you young, man, you don't understand what you think you see or what you being told. You see what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And I'm not gonna dive in and do no explaining because it's a lot of shit that me and her mom went through that I go to the grave with. You feel me? And that's just the loyalty I got for her as far as like where we come from, what we had to do to put food on the table for our youth. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, I'm going to let Lauren have her moment and do what she do. I wish she hella talented, but she got to understand, where did she get them talents from? You know, where that shit come from? You know, if I, you know, everybody know that's what I used to do. And I did it well. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to my daughter, man. I hope she get her mind right, man. You know, and grow up, man. And maybe one day we could sit down, man, just me and her, and get to the bottom of this, because this ain't where, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got family. I got a big family in California. Like, a whole bunch of us last name is Jacks. They all my kids got my initials. Only birth that I wasn't present for was Lauren, because I was locked up. Okay, I was there when I got born. I was there when Lyric got born. Lyric Chanel Jacks, Lauren Sherelle Jacks, and Lonica Consuela Jacks. Her middle name is named after my mama. And all of them, you see what I'm saying? It's like, you, man, I was present. Only a present father gonna put in his input on how he wants family tree to come up. You know what I'm saying? Because women, they eventually gonna go help another man's family legacy. They gonna understand that only men can carry on the family legacy. So before I get my daughter to, you know what I'm saying, like this, I'm gonna be there for her. So I feel like even though she ain't rocking with me, I'm still gonna be there looking over her, making sure, you know what I'm saying, letting motherfuckers know not to fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? Regardless how she feel about me, I'm not gonna never disown her in no type of way. Regardless what she say, she could say I'm the weirdest nigga on the planet, but that's not gonna make me stop loving her and stop, watching her back and making sure that she, make the right decisions. But I can't control, a young adult at a time when they feel like it's nothing that you can tell them. They gotta bump their head, man. Life gotta humble you at this point. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. And we all had. Come on, man. You ain't never went through nothing where you had to get humbled.
Yeah, we've been there. Yeah, I know I've been there.
Man.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
talk.
For
And
sure,
we all
man.
see that. Yeah.
Well, we got you, man. That's a big reason that we're here to help you navigate this. And I'm glad that you and Nic link. He's a therapist. I make sure that going forward that we tap in with you and just however we can help support you through this. We got you, man, for sure.
Let me close this door real quick. I just got headed back to the. I'm in the back right now, man. Just came back to California. I had some business to handle. I hear me close the door.
Okay.
Riding the motorcycle. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
So
that's all good, man.
yeah. What you say, my brother?
I'm just saying that we here for you, and a big part of what we do is to help Black men, Black fathers to navigate these type things. And I'm glad that you and Nic got to link. He's a therapist, and he's helped me tremendously. And we will continue to support you and any other father too out there that is going through grief or anything that they might need, just to reach out. Because we don't do that enough.
Can you
We don't do
recommend?
that enough.
Can you recommend some type of like something else I should be doing, man? Because I literally just been leaning on the homies, and you
Right.
can't like literally family. All my family is in California. I got nephews and shit in Atlanta that I extended family that's real, like just as my nephew is my family in California that's blood, but it's not the same as just
Right.
on the folks that's really going through it with that you can relate. But
No, yeah. I'm gonna let Nic tap in with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a couple things. I think one, leaning on people, especially in times of need, isn't a bad thing. And I get it, especially when it comes to family, because they going through it as well too. There's some resistance sometimes there. But I think, trying to find some other men, some other parents who've, lost a child could be extremely beneficial. I think another thing too is just being able to feel, everything that you're going through. I think so. You said it earlier. Sometimes because we have to be there for other people, we hide how we feel, you
yeah,
know. But I think it's important to just even acknowledge that, hey, I'm hurting. It's hard, and not always have to carry the mantle of trying to have it all put together. Um, Another thing too is, connect with us on a monthly basis. We hold a space every month through Dear Father, for people to just connect and just kind of talk and work through things collectively. It doesn't have to be that, but I do think group and a community, you know, people that you can't, you know, because this isn't anything that you go through and you get through by yourself. Definitely.
Yeah.
And the gym, I know you mentioned the gym, man.
Yeah.
For me personally, I suffer from depression, anxiety, all that. And what helps me is working out and running. I try to meditate. That shit hard. I read a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I think whatever helps you is tailored to you. Whatever brings you joy, whatever, you know, can get your mind in a better spot, you know. And I think that gym, you know, I think that might lead to another tool that you might find. But that's mine too. I don't got a lot too. I got therapists and I work out. You know what I'm saying? So
That working out is critical, you
Man,
know. It really is.
it's a temporary fix though, man. Like
right.
Yeah.
like that anxiety start kicking in, and I don't know if people really know what that feel like, man. It's almost like those butterflies in your stomach that never go away. I mean, it's like you don't have no appetite. You take 2, 3 bites out of something, and then you spit that shit out. Like the shit tastes like tongue is like sandpaper, bruh. Like it's almost like, man, you just ultimately stressed out. You can't think, man, I might get 2, 3 hours of sleep, man, literally, and then I'm staring like in a stupor. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I wouldn't wish that feeling. I see why people really like could entertain the thought of taking it, like really, like that's not me, but I'm saying I can like space out.
You understand?
I can
Yeah.
Right.
people be like, bro, I can't do this no more. And it don't matter. It ain't got nothing to do with money. It ain't got nothing to do with like career or status or nothing. Like mental health. We seen this in today with athletes, man. Young brothers having all the money in the world and they make stupid ass decisions. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Real talk. And that's because they mindset really, you know, they getting their mama out the poverty lines. That's all they want to do. You know, they really not that. So most of these kids ain't book smart. All they know how to do is play ball. You know what I'm saying? So when
Right.
they going through real world shit and they don't got, and I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the main reasons because most of these young boys ain't got a father in the house. It's them and their mama trying to go to the league and do this and do that, and he trying to do this. Oh, my mama, my mama. And nobody mentioned the father. We don't know the backstory on the father. For all we know, the dad was you know what I'm saying, around or wasn't allowed to be around, or we always going off the narrative that was in front of us and presented to us that we could see, but not what we really know that's on paper. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
You know, something else too, I think that's important is really just taking it day by day. You know, I mean, tomorrow has enough worries, enough troubles all by itself. So I think when we can just really try to be in the moment and really just take it day by day, it doesn't make it go away, but it does help dealing with it a lot easier, you know, because it's like, hey, man, I just got to get through the day, you know, and stay focused on that. Uh,
And we got and therapy, man. I think, you know, if we can help, we would definitely love to link you with a therapist. Just to keep talking about it, man. I think that would just help somebody to talk to that's not judging you, that don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like don't know your back. He just really using what he's learned to help you navigate this this situation. So, you know what I'm saying? We gonna link you with that.
and
yeah.
If you're
yeah,
open
with
to it.
I ain't gonna never stop screaming lyric name, bro. I got all kind of shit going on for her, man. Like everything I'm doing with her merch. I know you seen. I just it's a young lady by the name of Noelle.
Mm-hmm.
On her page, I think it's Coetic, Chaotic. I just posted it on my story, but she's 19. Doctors basically, you know, cancer. She went in remission a couple of times, but then it came back and back. I forget which one, what she has going on, but man, she has a list. She done already made. She has a list of things she want to do, man. She like the doctors done already gave up and shit like that. Pretty young, beautiful sister, you know what I'm saying? And I just sent her a few dollars, you know what I'm saying, to put towards her Knockout Foundation, you know what I'm saying? And I try to sell hoodies and do look. This is the profits I made. I had a poker game, you know, just charity for my birthday. And just the proceeds, it wasn't much. A few people turned out, and I sent her a cash app and just told her, whatever, I'm here for you. I just, in the
Mm-hmm.
name of my daughter. And it kind of make me feel good. It's almost like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
doing
powerful.
it.
Yeah.
It's almost
Absolutely.
like I'm doing it for
Yeah.
like, and her reaching out to me and being juiced and excited, it's almost like lyric like approving. You know what I mean? So now I know like I gotta live like that's my conscience. Like now I gotta think like, damn, would lyric approve of this? Or you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because I kind of set up my whole rhythm and groove how I go about my day to day since her passing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel good, man. Like I ain't tripping off of nothing, man. I know that it's some good that's about to come behind it.
Man, I think you doing that yourself. You turn that pain into this young lady's, you changing her life. So you already are using that pain for gain, you know what I'm saying? So we appreciate that, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with her, man. She's a beautiful young queen, man, and she could use some support like that,
So
man.
we gonna check her out, man. We
Yeah,
gonna check out, man. But yeah, LaMore, man, we like I said, brother, we appreciate you, man. We're gonna be praying for you as a team at their fathers, man, and going forward, however we can continue to support you and help you navigate this, man. We got your back, my brother.
for sure.
absolutely.
Sure appreciate, man. Y'all, thanks for y'all brothers having me, though, man. Real talk.
All
Okay,
love, man. I'll talk to you soon, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. If you need, talk it out, man. This was just my brother. He been through a lot, and we want to give him the space to talk and listen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So we appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. I'm Ricky, Nic Hardy, LaMore the Great, man. We appreciate y'all, man. One love.
For sure. L's up, blue hearts everywhere for the lyric, man. I holla.
Say that. Blue Hearts. Peace.